Welcome back to Living in Two Worlds. At the end of my last video on our swimming pool, you saw that we had poured the floor. So now, time to move forward and see what we can do about getting the walls poured so that we've got a box in the ground. So let's go and see where we're at. Saturday, February 21st. Things are progressing. Not sure where I left off last time, but before you would have seen the drains down there, the floors poured in the pool. The two pipes sticking up over on the end are for the skimmers. We ordered two new skimmer boxes that have deep throats, so which means they will sit behind the wall, so as opposed to having to rip into the wall. So those are supposed to arrive this afternoon, and then I'll have to tackle that. There's my vacuum port. Here you see three pipes out of the bottom. Those are my inlet jets. If we come around here for the inlets, this area here being the spa, the middle one will actually come out of the seat where you're sitting in the spa. This one will have a seat all the way down that side, so this pipe will go down to the end and come out the outside of the spa. Same with this one here. There's holes above here, 1, 2, 3. My pipe is over there. I'm just gluing that. That is for the jets on the spa. I've got two done on this side. There's two on this side. The third one will go inside of this wall and then come out towards the spa. So we'll have two on this side, two here, and two there in the jets. We're now up to 5 rows of pipe here. That is skimmer, drain, vacuum, inlet, and jet inlets. So those will all then transfer back to here, which is the pump house, change room, washroom building as such. They started that a couple of days ago. It's going well. So these pipes will follow right through into here. We will put everything probably in that corner there. Put the door here. This here will be a change room with a shower and a toilet in there. And then on this corner here, this will be a washroom with an outside access for anybody that's here. And this corner here that's sort of lopped off will be our outdoor shower. So they're working on that. They're getting that forming done. So I think the plan for this afternoon is to pour those beams. So I don't see why they won't get that done. That should be fine. And then we've got to probably then come back to how we're going to do the inside forming on the walls of the pool. I have some ideas on that, but got to talk to the builder first. So I'm going to glue my other pipes and put them in, and then probably talk with the builder later today. And next time we talk to you, we'll have an idea what we're going to do to finish off the inside of the pool. Sunday, February 22nd. Staff just left, gone home for the day. So let's take a peek and see where we're at. Oh, there's something new. Our two skimmers are now, they're in place. They had a little bit of fiddling with them to level and stuff to make sure we got them exactly right to be done yet. And then work the rebar around them, but they're in place now. Had to do quite a bit of jockeying around with that pipe as we had it against the wall, and these are substantially larger, so that was fine. So work to do with that. We'll get that done before we finish off the concrete. And then if you notice along this side, they have added the second row of rebar along there, and they've added it along here. By look, if they have not done that far side, and they've done that end, so just the far side left to do here with the second level of rebar. And no, that's it. That's all we got done on the pool itself today. Got a lot more backfilling done along this side, so it's getting pretty close. They took the forms off for our pump house slash change room today. That's looking good. Had the post at 3 meters and 2.6 or 2.7. We're going to cut them down a little. It's a little bit too tall and skinny. So you cut them down to 2.5 meters and 2.2, I think it is, or 2.3. Here we've got our 5 pipes, 1 vacuum. We have the drains, skimmers, vacuum, spa jets, and the inlets. So those all need to go through this trench here and in under the beam into this building here. So the dirt's pretty hard, so we put some water in there to try to soften it a bit. We'll dig that down some tomorrow, and then I think we will, one of the jobs we'll get done tomorrow is to get all of these pipes run into the building. Then we know that's pretty much done there. So that's kind of where we're at. Now, Noon and I need to spend a bit of time and do some research on some forms and things and what we're going to do on how we're going to form the inside of the pool wall, as it's quite a job to do. So we've got some running around to do tomorrow, so we'll do that, and then we'll probably update you and let you know how that turned out. Whoa, Thursday, February 26th. We were away most of the day. Got back just after a horrendous rainstorm went through, and unfortunately disaster struck on us. We've got a problem now. As you can see, a lot of water hit here, came off the roof here, I'm assuming quite a bit, and because we don't have this whole side filled in properly yet, this caught a lot of water and the mud. And if you look very carefully down this wall, you can see it's pushed it in on the far side there. Fair bit more water in the pool. Hopefully you don't get any more rain, but it's not exactly what we wanted, that's for sure. So let's take a look from this end here. Talked with the builder. He's unable to be here for a couple more days, but he's not too concerned. But if I look at it, and try not to get too much mud here, if I look at it here, you can see here it has definitely been pushed in. So worst case scenario, well, either way, we're going to probably have to get in with the macro again, pull all this dirt out. And worst case scenario is we knock this brick down and rebuild the wall on this side. I guess a better case scenario is we're able to straighten part of it up, or even best case scenario, we're able to straighten it back out. If not, well, then maybe even build part of it, but we'll see. So have to just wait and see what happens there. So not a good sign, but that's what's happened. Today is Tuesday, March 3rd. We haven't seen the builder in 8 days. We were expecting most of it, but hoping they'd get here yesterday, but they didn't. Apparently, I guess there was a party in the village on Sunday, and Monday became a non-working day for people. Who knows? Anyway, hoping they show up here this morning. A follow-up on our issue with the wall on this side. As we showed you earlier, it got pushed in from that heavy rain. So I've gone over it carefully, and if you can see, I've marked with red paint where it's been cracked. So obviously we're not going to be able to just push and straighten this back up. So what I believe we got to do, and we'll figure it out when the builder gets here this morning, but we will be knocking this down back to about here. Can't obviously go right to the bottom because it's tied through to this concrete here, but the cracks are all above that, so we're okay. So we'll be knocking that out, straightening it, and rebuilding it. So it looks as though we're going to be rebuilding about 2/3 of the wall on this side. What else has happened in the meantime? Well, this side here, I don't know if you remember before, but had only one row of the steel on. Well, I decided to get to work, and I actually did the second row. So I think it looks pretty good. It looks as good as their work, and that is now done. All I have to do is just reinforce, put in some reinforcing pieces in the corners on that corner and this corner, and then it's all done. Then we need to look at, well, once this is done here, getting the forming done on the inside. We got to get these walls poured as soon as possible before we have any more problems. So that's where it stands. So we'll let you know what happened once the builder gets here. If we start tearing this wall down here, we'll give you some shots of what's happening. So the team is back this morning, this being March 4th, and as you can see, they agreed with us, and we've made the decision that we need to remove the damaged portion of the wall and start again. So right now they're taking it apart, and once we get it down to where it's stable, then we'll start again and build it back up again. So we'll check with them again later. So we've removed all of the cracked and damaged portion of the wall. They've cleaned it all out, and now starting to rebuild it. So within the next few hours, or this afternoon, we should be back to where we were about a week and a half ago. So we'll let them do that, and then decide what to do from there. Good morning. It is Thursday morning, March 5th. So let's take a look and see what happened yesterday. The first and most important thing is if you look carefully at this wall here now, you can see where it has been replaced, where it was damaged. There we see our damaged wall portion out here, and it's been rebuilt. Done a very nice job. If we come down to the end and look at it along the end here, you can see once again it is very straight. So that's been dealt with. So now the other thing that we are doing is we are now starting on the inside wall so that we're able to get the actual pool walls themselves poured. So they've started on either side, getting their levels, started across the bottom, putting bricks in the pool to work on. So I'm assuming today they should get the bulk of this done today, as this seems to go quite quick once they get going. I don't know what we're gonna have for a crew, but it seems as if we get a couple people mixing concrete and a few more doing brick, it should move at a pretty good pace. So we'll I've been avoiding setting up the camera for this, unfortunately, just because of the fact that in the afternoon this is right in the hot sun, and avoiding letting the camera stand in the sun for hours on end to do a time lapse. But we may take a look at that today to see how it works. So we'll check with you later anyway and let you know. Friday, March 6th, and the brickwork had all completed yesterday. So now you can see the forms on both sides, and we have some actual metal concrete forms in the pool as well too. We've been debating back and forth and what is the best way to support these walls so that they don't blow out on us when we're pouring the concrete. So first we were just going to use forms and then fill in gaps with plywood and stuff, but it just seemed like such a difficult thing to do with the number of pipes and things that are sticking out of the wall, especially on this side here. So then we finally agreed upon using the block work. Work was the best way to form the inside of the wall, and now we're trying to figure out the best way to support that block work. We've rented a number of forms. There's a place here, they're not expensive to rent. They deliver them for you, so it's quite nice. So take a peek over here so we can take a look. So a lot of what we've rented, the forms are 4 feet high or 1.2 meters. So we've rented, most of them are 2 feet wide. And we've then started to place them in the pool. We are 1.6 meters on this end and about 1.3 meters on that end. So it changes as we move along. But the thing was, how are we going to support them? We looked at renting telescoping posts, but they only had a maximum of 3.5 meters and were 4 meters wide, so that didn't work. So the guy at the rental place, I showed him some pictures of the pool, and he had mentioned that they had done, or he had known, or he had rented and helped companies before do pools, and they had used scaffolding. He had mentioned that they used scaffolding on an angle, supported on the floor, and used that to support them. As the block work has quite a bit of support on its own, but you just need to make sure it's not going to find a weak spot and blow out. So we started doing that, started putting things in place, but having a good builder really helps, because the sort of concept of where's anything, there's the most pressures at the bottom of the wall, not the top of the wall. So we've decided, well, let's lay some on the ground. We've got some long pieces of steel, support them there, and angle them as well. So it means I'm probably going to need more of these supports for the scaffolding. I think we don't have nearly enough locks to hold all of the panels together, but this gives you an idea. You can see where we've put the 60 centimeter by 1.2 meter panels. We've added 30 centimeter panels on top, and then dropped it down to 20 centimeters up here. And you can see there behind the one piece of scaffolding where we have one pipe out of the wall, and how we're able to just work around it with sizing. So I just grabbed, rented a number of different sizes, and this wall is going to be a bit of a challenge, but I'm sure we can figure a way to get it supported. As we don't need 100% support on the wall, we probably need more like 70 to 80% support, but in the right places. So the plan is for them to come back today. They will be back today. The builder will be here probably most of the day, as he will be directing a lot of how they put this together. So the plan is to get this all ready so that we're able to pour on Saturday. So once he's here, we get it going, make sure we're on track. We'll be contacting the concrete company, and hopefully be booking our concrete for 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So we'll check with them periodically throughout the day and see how this starts to come together, and then hopefully we get these walls poured tomorrow. This will then take a huge amount of stress off of me, knowing that we shouldn't have any more issues with walls collapsing because of rain. It was forecast for a heavy rain last night. Apparently it all went around us, and we didn't get any because we still have this large opening on this side. So either way, we'll check with them once they're here later in the day and see how they make out with this supporting the walls. So the crew's been at it all morning, and I think if you look at this side of the pool here, you now get the view of what this is going to look like. So it's come together quite nicely, actually. Pretty much covered the whole wall with the exception of a couple pipes. And if you look at the far end, we're pretty good. Only one sort of pipe in the way there. And on the end here where the spa is, where most of the pipes are, you can see where they've managed to put it together pretty darn good, actually. So it's I think the coverage is good. We obviously don't have enough of the frames for the scaffolding, so I think I'm gonna have to go get one of those, but we're now just trying to determine if I need more frames at the same time. So they're working on this last wall. It appears as though we're going to be okay for frames, and maybe just some of the narrow ones along the top. I'm not sure. Have to take a look and see, but we should find that out shortly. But looks like we're on track in order to be ready for a pour for tomorrow. So the staff is gone for the day. Friday, March 6th. Tomorrow's the 7th, and we're ready. They have everything in place for the formwork's all there to support the brick walls, and we're all ready for the concrete pour in the walls. As you can see, we have the double rows of steel throughout. Our walls we rebuilt the wall on this side. It's nice and straight now. So now we have no issues anymore. So now we are 20 centimeters wide concrete with brick on both sides, and the brick being, I think, about 6.5 centimeters. So we've got a nice heavy walls all around the pool. Everything's braced really well. We're comfortable. Our skimmers are set right. Our automatic water top-up is done. All of our pipes on the other end for our inlets, our vacuum, our lights, they're all set. So now we'll pour the walls and hope we don't have to get a jackhammer and start jackhammering the walls apart if something's wrong. But for the most part, it seems okay. So tomorrow morning, crew's coming in the morning. I'm not sure how large of a crew, and then the concrete truck is booked for 9 o'clock. It'll be 2 trucks, one after the other, 9.5 cubes, and that'll take care of the walls. Once there's done, I'll be able to relax a little more, knowing that the pool box itself is secure and fine. And then we can start building the spa inside, the stairs, and then working around it as well. So we'll check again in the morning. It is Saturday morning, March 7th. Yeah, March 7th. Concrete for the walls is being poured today. The crew just got here. It's about 8:30. They're just moving a bit of dirt around, trying to move this pile so the truck can get in closer. And we expect the concrete truck in about 30-35 minutes. So we'll set up the camera today and watch them work. Good morning. March 8th, Sunday morning. Well, the pour went well yesterday. I hope we got enough of it with the video, but as you can see, we're done. We've got some pretty solid, hefty walls now. We've got the 20 centimeters of concrete with double rows of double grid of rebar, and the 60 centimeter block, which was used for forms inside and outside, and the block will remain on the inside. That was part of the thing we debated about back and forth before, but just in order to be able to form it and have a sort of a seal to be able to pour the concrete, it just seemed to make sense to do the brickwork on the inside, and then it will remain. So the pool will be slightly narrower when it's finished than my original plan, but I don't think anybody will really notice. So we're expecting the crew to show up this morning and dismantle all of this, get it all taken apart, and then I believe we will be starting on the spa in this corner. So we'll kind of wait till they show up, see how they're doing, and check with them, and maybe give you a look at it once we get everything out and get it cleaned out again, and start to build a swimming pool. So I think we will end this video here, as this was a major step for us to get these walls poured. Now I'm confident that we've got a good solid pool box in the ground. Not concerned with what may happen from this point. I think we're got that part all complete. So I think we will end this video here, and give us a like if you like it. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel, and we'll welcome any comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. And with that, we'll leave it there and catch you in the next video.